Welcome back to Life's Challenge. My name is Avital, and this week's Parsha is Parshat Vaetchanan. And Parshat Vaetchanan continues this monologue that Moses is sharing with the Jewish people about both experiences they've been through and experiences that they will go through. And one of those experiences that Moses sort of prophesies that the Jewish people are going to go through is an exile. Here's what Moses says. When you beget children and grandchildren, and will have been in the land, you will grow corrupt and make a carved image, a likeness of anything, and you will do evil in the eyes of Hashem, your God, to anger him. And then it continues, you will be destroyed. Hashem will scatter you among the peoples. There you will serve gods, the handiwork of man. So that's a really interesting prophecy that Moses is telling the Jewish people. Because Moses is telling them this land, the land of Canaan, the land of Israel, that the Jewish people have been traveling to get to for 40 years, that they were in servitude in Egypt before that they've been exiled forever from this land, that when they arrive in that land and after they've settled, they're going to be exiled yet again, and they're not going to be in this land that they've been sort of fighting to get to for the last 40 years. And that's a really interesting and powerful thing that Moses is telling them. But Moses is telling them that it's going to be because they're going to be serving idols. After they've been in the land, they're going to become comfortable, and they're going to begin to serve idols and to be disloyal to God. And then Moses continues, however, by telling the Jewish people that, yes, you're going to be exiled, but you're going to return to the land of Israel after that. It's not going to be a permanent exile. So here's what Moses says. From exile, you will seek Hashem your God, and you will find him if you search for him with all your heart and with all your soul. And it continues, you will return to Hashem your God and hearken to his voice, for Hashem your God is a merciful God. He will not abandon you nor destroy you, and he will not forget the covenant of your forefathers that he swore to them. So I think that is a really beautiful and powerful lesson in God's loyalty that I'm going to tell you in a minute continues throughout this entire Parsha. Something that just really stuck out to me was the idea of God being loyal to the Jewish people. And us perhaps not always being as loyal to God, but perhaps that we should learn from God's way in his immense loyalty that he has for the Jewish people. Because what it tells us right here, you Jewish people went and were idolatrous, and you're going to be exiled from the land of Israel because of that. But God is merciful, and God remembers his promises, and God is trustworthy and loyal back to the Jewish people. And if you search out God with all your heart and with all your soul, and you really put in the effort to return to God and to show him that you want to connect with God and you want the relationship with him, then God will bring you back and be merciful to you and loyal to you, continue to be loyal to you as he was before. And that is really beautiful. And it's hard to understand at times why. Because throughout the Torah, right, we see the Jewish people and they're constantly testing God. They're constantly telling Moses, they're saying, send me back to Egypt. Why? We would have been better off in Egypt. And we see the number of times that God gets frustrated and he wants to just annihilate the Jewish people and start the world over, and how Moses has to sort of wrestle with him to say, no, again, think about how that would be, and you made a promise, and God remembers his promise to Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and says, I'm not going to destroy the people. So even when he's frustrated with the Jewish people, he's still loyal to his commitment that he made to them all those years ago. So it's a little hard to understand why God continues to be loyal, but actually at the end of the Parsha, the way the Parsha ends sort of gives us a little bit of an answer as to why God is favorable to the Jewish people time and time again. So what it says is, Hashem your God has chosen you to be for him a treasured people, above all the peoples that are on the face of the earth. Not because you are more numerous than all the peoples did Hashem desire you and choose you, for you are the fewest of all the peoples. Rather, because of Hashem's love for you, and because he observes the oath that he swore to your forefathers, did he take you out with a strong hand and redeem you from the house of slavery, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. You must know that Hashem your God, he is the God, the faithful God, who safeguards the covenant and the kindness for those who love him, and for those who observe his commandments for 1,000 generations. So we kind of get the reasonings here for why is it that Hashem cares for the Jewish people. And it says it's not because we're so numerous, because in fact we were one of the smallest nations, but because Hashem loves us as a people. He feels deep love and connection to us, and he made a promise to our ancestors, and he makes good on that promise. God is exceedingly merciful and loyal towards the Jewish people, time and time and time again. And in Parshat Vaetchanan, we also receive something that really brings us all together and really drives the point home, and that is the Shema. The Shema is a verse in the Torah that is sort of the call to our faith in God, in Judaism. It's sort of something that is widely known almost among every Jew. And it's, "Hear, O Israel, Hashem is our God, Hashem is the one and only." And it's our call recognizing that we believe in one God, this God, singularly. And that is sort of our vow of loyalty to God. God expresses here his love for the Jewish people, that he does this for us because he loves us and because he cares for us. And that's why he made this promise, and that's why he continues to be loyal. And in this one verse, "Hear, O Israel, Hashem is our God, Hashem is the one and only," we are expressing our loyalty and our commitment back to God. It is very much that one sentence, when God has been loyal to us, this is us matching and reciprocating that energy and saying, we too are one with you. We too are loyal to this commitment, to this covenant that was made by our ancestors thousands of years ago. In this sentence, it's sort of a summation of, God, we're going to be loyal back to you. And I think that is such a beautiful and a powerful thing. And I think there's so much we can learn from the way that God is loyal to us and the way that we need to learn to be loyal back to God. God, yes, he's had frustrations in the Torah. We've seen them. God has been frustrated numerous times with the Jewish people for their actions or inactions. But despite all of that, and despite being angry at times, God, sometimes with the help and rationalization of Moses, is able to put that aside and continue towards the goal of the greater good and continue his loyalty to the Jewish people. And it's such a beautiful and powerful thing. And I think in our relationships, again, whether that's via the Shema or something like that and being loyal back to God, or in our relationships with other people, that yes, we'll have frustrations. And yes, sometimes it'll be so easy to lose sight of why we're being loyal and why we're committed to these people. But to take God's sort of never-ending loyalty and to learn that as well, that it's because we love these people, it's because we're kind to these people, it's because of a promise we made to them, that is why we continue to commit and to be loyal to those people and to the promises that we made. And I just think that there's a lot of power and beauty in the loyalty theme of this week's Parsha, and I hope we can all learn a lot from it. So I wish you all a wonderful week and a Shabbat Shalom, and I look forward to speaking with you next time.